Hi, we're on lesson 3 now of Dreamweaver. You should have gone through lessons 1 and 2. They're pretty basic. This one gets a little more involved. Uh, when you reset, according to this book anyway, I have some thoughts about that. You go to Workspace Layout and Reset Designer. Or new workspace. There's some stuff we need to do in the classic mode. I'm going to tell you that right now. But reset designer. So now they messed up my. I want to pull this out because I like to see the sizes of my images, and I have a nice big screen. Lucky me. Business Catalyst. I'm going to grab this and pull it out and close it. We're not going to use it. It's just getting in the way. There are some things that I've noticed, a couple of things that don't show up in the property inspector. We're going to start out here going to Site, New Site, and it's in lesson 2, but I don't know why they don't repeat it. I don't want all caps. Oops. Organic Utopia, I believe is the name of this thing. Yes, Organic Utopia. And we're going, because I've already done this, I had to load a new version or it would have gotten all weird. Actually, it is all weird. It's the old version. So I'm going to go over to the new lessons I put on here. I put them on my desktop and I made them, what color did I make them? Dreamweaver. There it is, purple. I wanted it to be really different because it's automatically going to go to the last one I did, and I have to do this before I do this. So this is going to be our new site. I'm just going to choose this. Boom, choose. And now it's picking the folder that's clean. So I'm going to go save. Notice, I hope you noticed, should have mentioned it ahead of time. This changed. I wonder if I can undo. Nah, I can't undo. But it had my practice version of this in it. And because I got a new clean folder and put it in a different place, I'm starting fresh. All right. There you have it. We start out with typography and images on the web. I'm going to have you double click on the events folder. There you have it. Here's our code. And here's our design page. Okay? It's rather lackluster, as the book would say. And we're going to first, in the first paragraph, you have to put your cursor in front of the word theirs, and we're going to type Organic Utopia as one word, and then events as the next word. Events. And then on Windows, you're going to press enter. On the Mac, you're going to press return. That's pretty much our heading. And then we're going to, you're going to make sure down here at the bottom in your property inspector, there's CSS and there's HTML. See that? We're going to be in HTML right now because we're going to highlight this text and instead of paragraph, we're going to change it to heading 1. Ooh, really? That's big. It's a generic heading that browsers have. The color's black, the font family is Times New Roman. Before we did that, I'm going to do an undo and watch it over here in the see, it was a paragraph, and then I'm going to go up to edit, redo, undo, redo. In your book, they're having you work in the design view only. I want you to see what's going on in the coding view as well. The tag changed, but you still have an opening tag and a closing tag, only it's a heading tag, not a paragraph tag. So now we are going to format this tag. This is the heading tag, H1. They get smaller as the numbers get bigger. H1, H2 is smaller, H3. That's the default in HTML. We're going to style this H1 now with CSS. So therefore, we're going to go down here to CSS. Cool. And we are going to change the font from the default font to Verdana, Geneva, Sans Serif. So, and you can make this really long. That's why we used to be limited to a really small number of fonts on the internet. But if you use CSS, you could have call out fonts that have a similar width, M space, and you could list a bunch of fonts in here that would work with your layout and not destroy it. Hoping, and then in the end you could say sans serif. So you have way more choices in fonts. So we're going to do that, sans serif, and it brings up a dialog box. We're going to change this class to a tag, because it is an HTML element that we're making a change on. We are going to change the color using the property inspector. However, it's good to remember with fonts, the reason we used to be stuck with web-safe fonts was because not everybody has the same fonts on their machines. There's a lot of things that you have to take into consideration in terms of animation speed, fonts, stuff like that, depending on what speed a person's browser is, what fonts they have, computer is, what their connection is, what fonts they have loaded, blah, blah, blah. So let's change the color. Okay, we've got that. We're going to change the color down here in the property inspector. So what color are we going to make it? I think it's a green. Yeah, it is a green. That's what they want. I had to pause there for a minute because they're picking here. I don't think I have the same color picker they have. Let's see. Continuous tone, that's not the color picker they have. Mac OS, that's not the color. Maybe they have Windows. No. Color cubes? There it is. Well, there's a new one, color cubes. Remember, FFF is, white. So they wanted a green. And it looks to me like they're picking a green down here. If you look on page 281, they have the 3-digit call out for the hexadecimal number. Hexadecimal number stands for 6. I'm going to put 9C3 because that's what they've got. It's going to change it a little bit. 9C3. Return. Oops, I should have done this. Let me undo so you can see what I did. Undo. So you can see the color. And then they have here number or hashtag, whatever you want to call it, 9C3. Okay, here we go. So we've got the color. I'm going to, there are like quick ways to organize, and this is not organized code at all, but I wanted to see what's going on here. And here's the style type: font family, Verdana, Geneva, sans serif, semicolon. So after what it is, this is a class. This is a CSS. Font family, colon, Verdana, Geneva, sans serif, semicolon, color, colon. And then, lo and behold, why does it have that twice? That seems kind of wonk. If you know code, I would take this. I would delete this. Delete. I would take this and move it up here just like an editor. And then I would get rid of, why are there 2 H1s? That's like kind of dorky right now. So now, where's my refresh button? There's my refresh button. And everything's the same, but there was too much code in there. They had H1 twice. But I forgot my closing tag. No, I didn't. There it is. I just like putting it on a separate line. Now I know. See, there it is. Closing. And quite frankly, I know I'm supposed to wait because they're going to show us in this, but this is driving me crazy because I can't see what I'm doing. You need to really understand organizing the way you, it's like an outline. You don't put everything on the same line. You just don't. That's good. Or you won't be able to. It's readability. Make your life easier. You know what I mean? Okay, save. Boom, save. So now we have styled our H1. Lest I forget to tell you. And notice, CSS starting with the H1 has a different, what they call syntax from HTML. It uses curly braces and it uses colons and semicolons. All right, so now being on the events page, and yours might not look exactly like mine. I have a pretty big monitor at home. So it says here to click quickly 3 times in the paragraph beneath Organic Utopia Events. Boom, it's selected. Selected. Paragraph, beginning tag, closing tag. Now what we're going to do is change the font. So from here, down here where the CSS is, in the property inspector, you're going to go over to font, size, and we're going to make it 18. And you're going to go up here and say tag. There we go. This time you can leave the P there because we actually are styling our paragraph. So you can just click OK. So let's take a look at the CSS code. Here we go. There's the H1. Here's the P. I'm going to move this over here just for me. I'm going to move. You don't have to do this, but it helps me see it better. You don't have to do it this way. I can see it better. P, curly brace, font size, 18 point, curly brace. So I've styled the paragraphs on this page. So you see between the two right here, style tags, you have the CSS. For fun, let's say we've changed our mind and we want it to be 14. Down here we hit refresh or nothing's going to happen. And it's 14. I'm changing it back to 18 myself. Maybe later on in the lesson I'll have to do the opposite. But you can see how you can change things quite easily in the code view or in the design view. The one thing I like though about knowing the code view, I have to fix this too. Bring this down 1 and this down 1. There we go. About the code view, file save, is that you can begin to see what you're doing and you don't have to use all these external things that are great that Dreamweaver offers you. I think this is a great way to learn code, to be able to see what you're doing back and forth. I think you should experiment. So we're going to now move on. One thing you might begin to notice is the way web sizes are and fonts is different. If you've done any print is picas. Web type is defined in pixels. If you look down here, you can see it. It'll let you do it, I guess, in the other. I don't know that I would, though. I wouldn't even venture forth. We're not going to go there right now. But I just want you to understand that it is different. Well, your book says, and it's true, If you've been used to print design, it is different on the web. They're referring to pixels instead of points. Also, web pages are displayed on a variety of monitors and browsers. Relative measurements can be a useful way for designers to plan ahead for inevitable discrepancies in the rendering of pages. So what we're going to do, I'm going to place my cursor, this is your tutorial now, inside of this paragraph. We're working in the split view. So this is the paragraph. There's big news, blah, blah, blah. Oh, this little thing, which I do find annoying, is called a code navigator. I'm just going to leave it for now. It can be very irritating, can also be very useful. You can disable it. I thought you could just right-click to disable it. Well, let me look into it. Anyway, so we're going to click inside in the design view, and we're going to make that type a dark gray rather than the default pure black. In the property inspector, we're going to click on the color swatch, and in the top left corner, okay, here's our property inspector, and top left corner, why are they saying in the top left corner, locate the gray swatch. Oh, boom, top left corner, dark gray swatch. 666. I'm going to click that. And if you notice, it added an embedded style, CSS. So we've got 18 pixels and we've got the color 666. I'm going to put red and hit refresh. Boom. I recommend using the hexadecimal numbers, but we'll use number 666. All right, now we have to make sure we save this. So I'm going to save this. And let's preview it in the browser. We've got all these little icons up here. The one that looks like the world says preview/debug in browser. I often use that. I'm going to use Safari because I'm on a Mac right now. But you can pick whatever it'll show what browsers you've got, I believe. And now you can see the main title is in that green. The copy, the paragraphs are in gray, and our headings, our H2 headings are in the default black for HTML. So there's no CSS styling. This is the style, the HTML style tag, the H1, and the paragraph. This is inside of this tag is the CSS. So now that let's do it again. Preview in browser. Preview. Let's try Firefox. I think I got rid of Opera. There it is. It's in Firefox. And it resizes as you move the window and all that good stuff. So let's go back to Dreamweaver and move on. All right, let's take a look. There is sort of a mock browser. You can go into Dreamweaver Live. Really, it should be in split view. And it's not editable because it's a mock browser where you wouldn't edit in the browser, you'd edit in the code. So let's go back to split. I'm a big fan. In fact, I'm beginning to be a bigger and bigger fan now of Dreamweaver. I have been learning hand coding, but I don't think I gave Dreamweaver the credit it deserves, because as a designer, I can see things, how it's coded. Now, I would absolutely say learn hand coding, learn at least HTML5, CSS3, and JavaScript. However, this is kind of cool. So we're going to next move on to hyperlinks. Understanding hyperlink. It's kind of like giving direction. For example, if you live on Moon Street, I always drive past that coming to campus. If you live on Moon Street in Ventura, and somebody's asking for directions and they're in North Hollywood, you're going to give them directions to get on the 101, go north, west, or whatever it is, until you get to Victoria. You're going to get off at Victoria and make a right, and then you're going to, I don't know, make a right or left on Moon Street, wherever the address is. But if you're in Ventura, the directions are going to be somewhat different. So that's how your book explains it on page 287 a little better than I'm explaining it. And I know this is how it was explained to me when I was learning some hand coding. Like if you were to give somebody directions to go outside and go to one of the local restaurants, how you wouldn't first tell them to go to the United States, then California, then the San Fernando Valley, because all that's a given. That's already there. So that's what you have to think about is where are you and where are you going? Anyway, enough of that. They want us in the design view. Voila, we're in the design view. Highlight the word products. In the property inspector, down here, we want to make sure we're in HTML, because you can really get messed up if you're not in the right button. And where it says link, we're just linking to another page, by the way, here. Products.html. Product. Well, let's go products. There we go. Products.html. And it's inside the HTML page is inside your folder. It's automatically underlined. And we can also go, let's see, where else is the browser? I'm so used to using this icon. Preview in Safari. Save. And now products will take us to the products page, which is very nice. Now we're going to go over here. Here's the products HTML page. So I'm going to double click on that to open that. All right, click to the right of the word produce. Choose insert hyperlink. I moved the insert panel up here because it reminds me of the options bar in Photoshop. Here's hyperlink, insert hyperlink, and type in the word events. I hit return and type the word events. Oops, events, there, events. And then I highlighted that, went to my hyperlink. Here's events, link, events, open, target blank, because I want it to open in a new page. I don't want it to leave the page we're on. And then I'm going to call it Organic Utopia Events Page. Organic Utopia Events Page. Okay, bear with me. I didn't show you how I did this. See, here's the insert panel, and I was using it as a panel for a while, and then I watched a Dreamweaver tutorial that I thought would make it easier for me, and if it's making it easier for me, it might make it easier for you. I dragged this panel. You know, so many things are the same in the Adobe programs. I dragged this panel up here and made it into a bar. And I think there are some differences in what you can accomplish, or different ways you accomplish some things in PC versus Mac. And I'm hoping when I'm on the PC in class on Tuesday, I'm okay because I'm doing all of this on a Mac. So there you have it. So we have that Organic Utopia events page. So we wouldn't have to just call this events. And I hate that blue. That's just a personal preference. Maybe because I've seen it so much in web and in television. The thing is, the reason you want to title everything is for accessibility. So we're gonna save this. We've got the events page. There's that little thing, that little code navigator. There's products HTML. Oh, Command Option click to show. Well, why didn't he just say that in the tutorial? The tutorial said relative versus absolute hyperlink. Speaking of hyperlinks, we've created links within a site, linking to various pages, which is really essentially the navigation. However, what if we want to link to an outside source? So what I've done is I've moved both HTML pages out. I've put an underscore in front of images, which moves it to the top. So then it's alphabetical here. Now, you really want to pay attention to structure, or you're going to be like pulling your hair out. I'm serious. You are going to be pulling your hair out. So I'm going to close the trash. I'm going to close this. Let's see where we're at now. Okay, products. Products needs to link to the events page. Now I could type it in, events.html, or there's this little gizmo, point to file, which is great. Here's the files folder. I'm going to go over here and point to products. Boom. Underscore. And there, see how it changed the code? Added an A, href, blah, 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 blah. There you have it. Now we have our events page. Oops. There's our products page. Okay, I'm going to type in events. I'm going to highlight it. And I'm going to go link to events. All right? Now, I'm going to give this a shot. Preview in Safari. Save. Yes, save. Please save. Save in this update links. Yes. All right. So, here we are. Products and events. Products, events. Now, I showed you how I made this into, it kind of reminds me of the options bar in Photoshop. I could make it back into a panel very easily. Here it is as a panel. I'm kind of liking it now as a bar. That is not in your tutorial. That is in a tutorial I went through on lynda.com. So it's up to you. It's very easy to do either or. Here we are now. We've done hyperlinks, and there's something called absolute hyperlinks. So let's go back to, are we on the events page? We are. And this page was created with Adobe Dreamweaver. That's what we need to type. This, whoa, that's weird. So that's in an H2 heading. We do not want that. We do not want that. But you know what? It doesn't matter. This page was created with Adobe Dreamweaver. There we go. And we need to highlight these because we don't want them to be a heading 2. What do they want us to make this? Highlight this, and in the comments section for the insert panel on the right side of the screen, click on hyperlink. Well, I'm going to do something else. I'm going to go to split screen because I don't want this to even be an H2. I want this to be, let's change it in the code, an H3. I'm not sure I want it to be an H3. Change it in the code. I might want it to be an H4. Refresh. Much better. Well, not much better. I really am not sure I even want it to be that. So I am going to highlight it. Here's my property inspector. Heading 3. I'm going to make it a heading 4. That's a little more like it. I don't know if I care for the bold, but that's a default. I'd have to go into CSS to override it. So I have to think about that right now. It's in Verdana. Okay, so it's coming up as a class. I'm going to make it a tag, an H4 tag, and click OK. And now that puts it in the same type as this, but I don't want the bold. So let's see. Where is it giving me, if I should just put this in a paragraph tag because I don't like the way it looks. And then I might add italics, and I think they do add italics in here. So I'm going to refresh. This page was created with Adobe Dreamweaver. That makes much more sense because we're going to add the copyright symbol, http://www.adobe.com/products, products/Dreamweaver.html. Okay, fine. That's fine. We want to definitely target blank. Only if you want it to take over the page you're on, do you not put blank in there. Okay. So we've got all that, if I typed it right, hopefully. Let's see. Let's see where this takes us before we even do anything. Boom. Website builder, blah, blah, blah. There it is, Adobe Dreamweaver. Very cool. Okay, we'll check it again. Now, we've got all of that. Did they want me to put a title on it? Choose blank. And then just press OK. Okay, there you have it. All right. So we've got that, and we're going to test it in the browser. Gosh, I forget where. Preview in browser. It's in a number of places. Let's try Google Chrome. I've been having problems with Google Chrome, so I've been avoiding it a little bit. There you have it. And go there, and there you have it. Awesome. Okay, so there's the tutorial. There's that. And if you, actually they want it right under here. So if you hold the Shift key and hit return and start typing, see, it's not, you don't have all that space. So we're going to do info at AGITRAINING.com. We're going to highlight this. And I moved it back up here. Where's the email? Email link. Okay. And there you have it. You have to go inside the list. You have to be in HTML. List item. Bulleted list. We've got it. Style. Square. Okay, so you have to jump through many hoops sometimes to make a teeny little change. It's worth it, trust me. I'm going to build my site, my personal site in Dreamweaver now. Okay, this is good. We're moving along. Okay, here's the problem. Now your list is black. It's not 666 gray. So that's kind of a bummer. So we have to fix that. Here we go. We're going to highlight this list. See here? This is why I like this. Press UL. There we have it. And now we need to go to our 666 color, right? There we go. Now, the unordered list. Font size, I made it 18. They said 14. Color 66666. So it's the same as the paragraph. Maybe, in my opinion, we should make it even bigger. Let's make it 20. And refresh. Hey there. Now why would there be a period after cheese tasting but not anything else? How late? I don't like that. Okay. So now we need to go back to the events page. Oh, yes, the events page. Yes? Products page. Blah. Okay, I have to click in front of this page was created with Adobe Dreamweaver and type 2012 space. And before the 2012, I have to click the menu at the top of the Insert panel on the right side of your page, which I keep moving back and forth, but I kind of am liking it above. Insert, and choose Text. Okay, Text. Click down here, go to Text. There it is, copyright. Excellent. So we need to save this puppy. Command S or Control S for the menu. Save. All right, so the next part, we're going to be inserting images, and the next part is a really good thing to know. Yes, you can bring in a big image and resize it in Dreamweaver, in hand coding, and whatever. However, you really, if at all possible, want to make it pretty close to the size that you need, because even though visually people will see it the correct size, it's going to weigh your site down. The bigger the site and the more images, the slower it's going to load. And I don't think, even though this field has changed so much in the last 15 years, I don't think the fact that people are impatient has changed. So you don't want people leaving your page. So here's the deal, and they give you the images. We're going to insert some images. I think I've saved this. Yes, I have. And we're not going to, are we going to save it here? Yeah, I think we are going to save it here. All right. Image formats are JPEG, GIF, and PNG. PNG has an 8-bit and I think it's a 24-bit. PNG supports transparency and so does GIF. JPEG does not. PNG was starting to be used 10, 15 years ago, 15 years ago actually, I think. Now it's probably one of the more predominant formats because it does support transparency. However, PNG 8 is a lot like GIF. It's limited to 256 colors. GIF supports transparency and GIF also animates. But we're getting ahead of the game here. PNG, if you want your image to layer on top of another image, it needs to be able to be transparent or basically read an alpha channel. It needs not to be a square. We used to have to do this stuff. Everything had to be a square. Even if you saw a curve, it was a lot of squares put together to create a curve. You had to be very careful in the way you optimized it, because if any part of that curve was optimized differently, it would look crappy. So there you have it. There you have that. And here your book gives you all the details. You can look on page 295 and see what the name for JPEG is and the society or the group that does it. Not a bad thing. I'm just saying I'd rather spend time loading the images. So that's what we're going to do. And we're going to insert an image. Yay! It's going to go right below produce. So I clicked after the E in produce and went hit return. And now I'm going to go to insert image. Yay! I don't know. Okay. Images. Now I am not going, I'm going to look down here first. because I want the smaller size to go in here. Insert, let's see, image, images. So when I hit the beats, I want the beats, not the beats large. See, the beats large is 254 kilobytes. The beats are 35 kilobytes. Beats. All right. Okay. We've got it. Boom. There are beats. Yay. All right. So then after the beats, all right, what we're going to do here, your book says look at the split vision. I think look at the split vision or version is really helpful. I'm going to click on my smaller version and go down here and link it. Well, first I have to see the size. I have to be able to see the size. Yikes! Oh, I can see this. There, that's way better. Where are the beats? Well, it says beats large, so that helps. Or it did. Where are the beats? That's 35. Here's beats large. Okay, so what I'm going to do is say link, and I'm going to do it this way because I like this way. Beats large. And then I'm going to go under File, Save, and then just for fun, Preview in Safari, click, and now you get the big version. You know how that happens all the time with images you're looking at? That's what we're going to do with every bit of produce, every picture we have, plus the chocolate. Chocolate, we get a little bit more into optimizing, but quite frankly, I think optimizing in Photoshop is a way better. Okay, now we're going to get the cucumber, not the large, but this one. I'm going to click and drag it below. Oops, it's not going exactly where I want. I'm going to put cukes for now. And say okay. And yeah, I want events really to be below that. So I'm going to need to move this up. There we go. Put the alternative text in the field to the right of the cucumber. We're going to hit enter. All right, we're going to hit, this is the insert panel. I'm going to bring it back over here. Oops, here, this little hash mark. Here's the insert panel. Let me gang it up with this. Oh no, I didn't do that. There we go. Where's image? Is it in here? Image. Yay! Oh, well, we already got that. Oh, we're going to get the other one. So now I'm going to get the eggplant. Where's that old eggplant? There we go. Open. I'm just going to put egg pea. Okay. Oops. Wrong place. There we go. This is, watch, see the code updating. I love this. Makes it so much easier. I still have to link the big ones to these. So we've got that. Now we're back to the property inspector. I've got the cukes selected. Let me go up here, get away from that. And we want to link the little cukes to the big cukes. Cucumbers. Where are they? There they are. And now same with the eggplant. Oh, let me go back to the cukes and make sure. I didn't have blank. Remember, if I don't have blank, boom, large, boom. Okay, So we've got that. Now let's just take a look. Oh, let's save. It will make us save anyway. So we're going to browser test this. Preview in Safari. Yay! It worked. Oh, we have to go back here. Oops. Oh, it didn't take me back though. Interesting. There, it worked. Oh, I'm right here. Yay! There it goes. It's very gratifying, even though it's so detail-oriented. So there we've linked the bigger images with the smaller image. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to close this. Here's the deal. You don't always have everything you need right when you're starting to build the site, but you don't want to wait till you get everything. So you can put in a proxy. So this is the last bit of the imagery thing we're going to do here is putting in a proxy and doing some color correction, which I really urge you to do most of that in, or placeholder proxy, same thing, in Photoshop. It's kind of limited here, but you can do it. Let's say you get into Dreamweaver and it's like, oh darn, that should have been whatever, when you look at it in the browser. So what you can do in Photoshop, by the way, you can look at your images in a browser too. We're going to, okay, I'm going to type what the chocolate, because that's what the chocolate, that's what the placeholder is going to be. So then I'm going to go to Insert. Where's my Insert? Image. Oops, sorry. Cancel, that's not what I wanted. There we go. Image placeholder. You have to be careful or it opens the wrong thing. There we go. Belgian chocolate. And the size is going to be 300 by 200. Width always comes first. And I think that's all we need. For right now. Okay, there we go. So there's our placeholder. Let me scroll down a little bit. It should be below the chocolate. There we go. Feels like it should be a little tighter. There we go. Okay, I have to highlight this, and in the property inspector, I'm going to call this a heading. So here's our property inspector, and I'm going to call it heading 2. There we go. So there's that. So it's very helpful when you know what images you have, but they aren't prepared yet and you don't have them ready. So you can now edit the picture, because now what we're going to do is here we have the placeholder. And we're going to go to the source image, Belgian, that's the large. We don't want the large one. We want the, where's the smaller one? There it is. And there's the chocolate. So now we have the chocolate. Great. Then we're going to link the other one, the large one. So we've done that so far. Let's take a look. It's going to tell us to save in Safari. Save. Okay. So we've got the produce and then we've got the chocolate, although some people might argue that chocolate is a vegetable. After all, it is the cocoa bean, right? So we've got that. Now, editing the images. This is something that was really new to me. And like I said, I think Photoshop's a better way to edit images. So let's try editing the eggplant. So I'm going to go to the eggplant. There we go. Then I'm going to click on the brightness contrast button in the property inspector. This icon is the same icon that Photoshop uses at the bottom of the layers panel. So you can bring up the adjustment layers. So there is consistency here. Okay, now notice this is destructive. The action you are about to perform will permanently alter the selected image. You can undo any changes you make by selecting Edit Undo. Okay, so what do they have special numbers they want me to put in. Brightness slider to 20, so I'm just going to type it in. And the contrast slider to 10. Blah, there we go. All right, now see this preview, see the difference? You can see, watch the eggplants, preview on, preview off, preview on. It is better. So if you have to do something minor like that, I don't think it's bad to, like, oh, last minute, this could look a little better. And we're okay. And then one last thing they have us do is really, I think, mess up the optimization of the chocolate. So let's take a look here. Now they have us doing what I always think is the smart thing to do. In here where the Belgian chocolate is, I'm going to right click. Is it going to let me duplicate that way? Oh, it doesn't say duplicate. Edit maybe? Duplicate. So it's making a copy. See, copy of Belgian chocolate. Just in case we totally screw up this, we can replace it with the copy. You have to be really careful, though, about not having the wrong duplicates of things. I like to optimize in Photoshop again. So, but I think since we're doing Dreamweaver, you should try everything in pretty much in here. Although I think they do have us go to Photoshop. I'm not sure. Let me see here. Okay, so I've got Belgian chocolate selected. Edit image settings. Voila, image optimization. So it's a JPEG. It's at 99. We can change it to a GIF. Oh, it previews automatically. So it's like solarized. So if that's what you want, fine. If that's not what you want. Now, if you notice, the file size is 3K. The file size is 18K. Now, each one, it seems like, oh, big deal, right? Because they're all pretty darn small. However, it adds up when you have a bigger site. But it really wouldn't work if you want it to look like chocolate that isn't hand-drawn. It looks like maybe it's an illustration. You could do that to all of them, and the whole site could look like it was illustrated. Hey, maybe I'll do that. One thing I want you to notice is first of all, I would never make a photograph as a GIF. I would make it either a ping, photos JPEG. A lot of pings are used because they support transparency and alpha channels. Here's another ping. This ping 8 is more like the GIF. JPEG does not support transparency. So I'm working with one person who only uses pings. They're the newest format. They're not that new, but they're the newest format to reach the web. And then, of course, it also says you can format in Photoshop. I'm going to just leave it at ping sharp. Okay. Now it wanted me to edit it in Fireworks. I would rather edit in Photoshop. When it was a ping, it wanted to go into Fireworks. So there, it immediately opens it in Photoshop. And if you were to edit it in Photoshop, I like to unlock this layer all the time. File, save for web. And the nice thing about Photoshop is here's the original, here's a newer version. I could go to JPEG and go to quality maximum. I'm not sure I see much of a difference. This is between this one and this one. Well, actually this is a little better, isn't it? Look at, you can see detail in here, and it's kind of mushy here. It's kind of melted chocolate here. No, that's really dumb, I know. Sorry. Okay, and then you can save. And again, oh, I see, I saved in the seat, and I didn't save the one on the desktop. So I really made I should have just said, this is the one I was supposed to use the whole time. I deliberately made it purple and put it on the desktop, and replace Belgian chocolate original, boom. So now I've got a better version that I saved in Photoshop. So if I want the bigger one, you know, I have my original. I still have my original in there because I made a copy. So I could go get that, get rid of everything else, drag it in here, optimize it, and then not have all those versions that I now have, which I really don't recommend. So there you have it. Let's go ahead and file save. And then let's go ahead and preview in Safari. There we go. What are you barking at, Trixie? There's that. Oh, did I not have, oh, what's going on here? Let's see. Let's go here. Oh, I didn't have target blank. See, it replaced what I had. There's target blank, target blank, target blank, target blank. Okay, so now that's better. Preview in Safari. Save. Okay, there we go. Yay. See, there's that. There's that. There's that. And there's that. Well, I'm going to look into optimizing both, but I think this is enough. I tried to give you, I think a lot of times they have you work in one view or another. I find as a designer, it helps me to see what code is created when I do something. For example, I don't like events. This has just bothered me, being so teeny tiny. So I'm going to change it to a headline, a heading, there. Okay, I did look into changing the color. It's way doable. It's with CSS, and we're not there yet. So let's end here, and we'll start the next lesson.